doing a little bit of salmon fishing today. Got the brothers out here, the little brothers out here doing some salmon fishing. They don't get to salmon fish much. They like crappie fishing and that kind of stuff. Stuff where I can find a school of fish and guarantee them fish. Find a school of crappie or trout fishing when they stock with lakes with trout where you can catch a fish every cast. They don't do a whole lot of salmon fishing with me. And it's different now because when I was, his age, when I was a kid, I used to be able to come out here and catch salmon easily. It was not hard to come out here and catch a couple fish a day. And that's how I got into fishing so much, is I could go fishing and catch fish. Now it's tough, if someone wants to get into salmon and steelhead fishing, it's tough because you don't catch a lot of fish. You gotta work a lot. You gotta work for it. Just bobber dogging a little bead here. I think it's a 14 millimeter little Charisse bead. Bobber dogging it. There's a seam on this side of the river up there. I fished a little bit. There's a seam on the far side down here that I've actually caught a couple fish out of. I have a video of my dad catching a steelhead out of here somewhere on my channel. It was pretty close to this time. I think it was December, like the beginning of December. Right now we're in the beginning of November, but beginning of December last year my dad got a nice little summer steelhead out of here. But I don't know, we're just here to have some fun. I'm going to see if I can actually let this, I might get hung up. I'm going to try to let this bead fish all the way to the end here. It gets really shallow, it's kind of like a big tail out. For the end of this run, I guess. It's not the tail out, but you've got to run. Got this run coming through, get shallow, and then it drops into a hole. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's some spots, but this is the seam I was talking about up top. Kind of runs down along here, and it's pretty clear today, but when it's not as clear and there's not very many people out here, the fish will come and sit right up in that, right off the bank, and you can watch them a lot of the times. Especially for steelhead, a lot of steelhead. During steelhead season, quite a bit of steelhead get pulled out of there. People come down here early in the morning, right at daylight, and there's fish sitting in there. But we're gonna try a different spot. Ain't no fish in this spot. Alright guys, so different spot. I'm actually up, there's a little hole down there where my brothers and my dad are fishing. But I actually came up and I'm gonna kind of fish these rapids a little bit. See if I can't maybe find a steelhead, or a coho as well, could be sitting in here, but I'm going to kind of pick through these rapids here with a little bead and see if I can maybe find a steelhead. Now fishing rapids like this is one of my favorite things to do. It's faster water. It's actually where I catch a lot of my steelhead. And as you can see, there's actually a boat way up there coming down. They're probably doing the same thing here as I'm trying to do. But you gotta really learn how to read the water. Watch the rocks, fish the seams off the rock. Find the soft stuff in the fast stuff. Maybe I'll do a video of really really thorough video of picking out how to read water, how to pick out these spots. But like where I'm gonna go here, there's a rock, a good seam on it. So I'm gonna kind of float along that seam there. And find little pocket water and things in these rapids. That's where your fish are gonna be holding most of the time. Especially like water like this, it's super low and super clear. And they don't necessarily want to be sitting in places like a deep hole or somewhere where everyone's going to be pounding and throwing jigs and all kinds of different things at them. They'll kind of move up in this water where a lot of people don't fish. And where it's harder to present a good bait to them. So yeah, this right here is like pretty much my favorite type of fishing when I'm like salmon or steelhead fishing. This is actually more of a steelhead technique, although there could be some salmon in here, but it's fishing these rapids like this, fishing faster water and finding breaks, seams, and different things, because that's where I have a lot of success, because nobody else does it. I mean, there is a few guys that are, most of your veteran steelhead fishermen do it. But a lot of like new guys, they look at this water and they pass it up and wait till they get down to the next hole. And I really picked up bobber dogging. I'm kind of bobber dogging right now. I really love doing that in this water too. It's really what is good for is faster water, but I really like it because you can just, have your bobber stop set wherever you want, 10 feet up your line if you want, or 6 feet up your line, whatever it may be, and just let that weight, just drag along the bottom. Right now it's only probably maybe at the most it's 5 feet deep, in some spots in here. And I probably have my thing set to like 6 or 7 feet. So that weight's down there just dragging through the holes, and that bead is just coming by, coming through, washing around. Our brothers are starting to get a little bored. I don't know how long they're going to last, so I'm going to try to fish this pretty quick and kind of fish up here pretty quick. When I'm bobber fishing like this, bobber dogging, I like to run a pretty decently long leader, about a 4-foot leader or so. Especially in this clear water, to keep the bait away from the to keep it away from the weight. You got that weight dragging through. Sometimes that can spook some fish. So having the bead or whatever you're using, the beta eggs, whatever, back a little bit from that weight. The only problem with that is then the longer your leader have, the less control of where your bait, is. Your bait's not, going to be directly under your bobber. Right now my weight is back behind and I have my bead back behind, so that bead is not where you think it is. It's not, everything is not directly underneath your bobber. So sometimes it can be harder to get it, fish exactly where you want to fish. Or get your bait. Man, this thing's like moving all over. tighten it up a little bit. I lost the camera one time. That was loose like that. It was loose like that, flopping around. Had some really good footage on it too. And it fell off, bounced into the water, and it was gone. So see, here's like a little rock here I'm gonna try to hit. Kinda screwed it up, but we'll try it again. Always want to hit the close stuff too. Especially in this water like this, hit the closer stuff. So then if you hook a fish in that closer water, you can get them out of that. And if there's another fish sitting on the other side of it, or on the far side, you don't, spook those fish. To where if there's a fish right here and you cast way over there and you hook one, you've got to bring it through that fish, and you're going to scare them all out, spook them all out. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes they still eat it, but or sometimes, after they kind of spook out and they'll come back and you can get them. But sometimes when they're being really spooky, you only got one shot at these fish. Especially on a river like this where some people watching this video may even be able to tell where this is at. Alright, so one of my brothers came up here to tell me they got a fish down there. I can't really see it very good. It looks like it's a little trout or something. But I'm hung up in the middle of the river, so I gotta spook, if there's any fish, I gotta spook them and get this. That's one thing about fishing, nice about fishing low, clear water. I mean, it's only like a foot deep all the way across right here, so I can walk out here in my waders and get it. But I'll put a picture, they're taking a bunch of pictures, so I'll put some pictures up of that fish that they have. There we go. Got my bead, and now I might as well, since I'm close to this hole. Didn't walk out enough to spook it. Maybe. I actually could fish back there a little bit easier now, so I'm gonna take a few casts. Alright, so I'm going to go I'm going to take one or two more casts here, and then I'm going to go back down to get some eggs. And if they want to stay this long, I'm going to come back up here and fish those spots I just fished. I'm going to fish with a little piece of bait and see if a little piece of bait will maybe, if there's any fish in there, maybe that will get something. Alright guys, so that fish they caught ended up being a sucker fish, so it wasn't really anything, that exciting, nothing really. Didn't put a picture in because it was just a little sucker, but it was cool that they caught something, and pretty slow, but that's, what it's like fishing up here most of the time. I mean, probably 80% of our fishing trips are like that, where you're going out and you really got to search the river, and it's hard. There's not a lot of fish, but it's fun to be outside, fun to be out there, and I thought I'd just kind of show you guys what it's like, on a normal day of fishing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.